Hey, cool, great. Well, Friday night, a couple nights ago, I whipped up a pasta dish that I do pretty frequently. It's pasta with shrimp and whatever vegetables I have around the house, and I do it typically in a butter sauce. So if you're looking to cut calories, this may not be the recipe for you. But if you're looking for delicious and you love shrimp, this is chock full of it. It's an original recipe. I made it up. I do alter it for whatever I've got in the kitchen on any given Friday, and you can too, but I'm going to show you my favorite. We've got some baby artichokes, we've got some shrimp, and we've got some other veggies in there. We've got lots of butter to make a delicious sauce, and because you're not eating in a restaurant, you can put as many shrimp in there as you want, not just 6, because, 6 isn't enough. Let's get started. All right, I'd already started this meal when I decided to turn the camera on, so let's go through the ingredients super quickly. Here is my pasta, my favorite brand. I've mentioned it before, and I'm using a Penne rigate, which has ridges in it that help to hold more sauce. This is a 14-ounce can of baby artichoke hearts, which I have drained and halved. I'm going to be using olive oil, and I'm going to be using butter. I've got half a stick of it already melting in my pan, and I've got some water boiling for the pasta. My shrimp have already been cleaned, deveined, tails removed, and they're soaking right now in some fresh lemon juice, half a lemon, some salt and pepper, and some garlic powder, just to marinate for about 15 minutes before I'm ready to start cooking them. And then my fresh vegetables are fresh garlic, fresh onion, pepper, and carrot, and I've got some more lemon juice. To get started, I'm going to take my marinated shrimp, and I'm just going to lay them into the butter where they will poach for a few minutes. I'm going to leave the remaining marinade in my bowl. Once I get all of my shrimp in there, I'm going to try to arrange them so that they're in a single layer on the bottom of the pan after they've been well coated in that wonderful luscious butter. And then once I've got them in a single layer, I'm going to rinse out my bowl because I'm going to be offloading that shrimp once it's cooked back into the bowl so I can cook my vegetables in the sauce and then add the shrimp back later so that they don't get overcooked. So you'll see I'm spreading them out so they're a nice even layer, and once I've done that, I'm going to begin to flip them. You can use whatever method you like to flip them, tongs, a spoon. I do this frequently enough that I kind of have a little mojo going on as far as that goes. By the time I get around to the other end of my pan and I have flipped all of my shrimp, it's going to be probably time to begin to remove the first shrimp that I flipped. Because we really don't want these to get tough. So it's going to be a minute to 2 minutes on each side, and they're going to release some juice. You'll see it's getting a little bit more watery in there. And since I'm amazing, I'm also going to put my pasta into the boiling water and let it cook, start my timer, and then go right back to what I was doing. Once everything is cooked, I'm going to go ahead and use my, I don't know what this thing is called. I think it's actually called a spider, believe it or not. It's a Chinese straining spoon, just to get everything out of there. If you don't have a Chinese straining spoon, use whatever you have. Put it back into my rinsed bowl. I have cleaned that out from the marinade earlier. I'm going to leave all that juiciness and butter that was already in there. There's some shrimp flavor in the pan, so I'm going to put the rest of my half stick of butter in. So now there's an entire stick of butter in there, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a couple tablespoons, and I'm going to melt that down. I know it looks like it's terrible for you, but I'm going to put a lot of vegetables in here to cook down. Some of the water that the shrimp gave off is going to evaporate and reduce this sauce, thereby increasing the flavor a little bit. And right now I'm going to put a little bit of my chopped garlic in there to begin to flavor that even further. Let me tell you something, that is delicious in a pan right there. So don't judge. My vegetables are going in. It's bell pepper, onion, and carrot. It's the Italian version of the Holy Trinity of vegetables to start any good sauce with. There is no celery in this, which is what the non-Italians will use. I use them all. That's been cooking for a couple of minutes, and now I'm ready to add my artichoke hearts. These are already completely cooked through, so all I really need to do is heat them and integrate the flavors a little bit. Putting in a little bit of kosher salt and some fresh ground pepper to complete my flavor profile. And then I'm just going to let those simmer together for maybe 4 minutes or so while I'm draining my pasta and just letting that complete itself. You won't get normal terms when you're cooking with me. My pasta's off the stove and it's draining in a colander in the sink, so I'm just going to take this last moment to add my shrimp back in. I've reduced my heat. Actually, it looks by that burner that maybe I haven't yet, but I certainly should have. I'm just going to try to heat everything through. My sauce is now complete and ready to eat. And you'll notice it's not very saucy. So that entire stick of butter that went in there is going to be divided to 4 portions. So it's really not that bad. These are all my excuses right now. I'm ready to go ahead and plate. So a little bit of drained pasta. There's nothing on this pasta yet, so what's in that pan is going to flavor this. And once I've got the exact correct number of noodles in each dish, I'm going to reach for my wonderful shrimp and artichoke. I'm going to call it a sauce, but you'll see it's not that saucy. I'm just going to put a generous couple of spoonfuls. Like I said, 6 shrimp is not enough. I'm going to make sure we get a bunch of wonderful shrimpness in there, and also a bunch of those artichokes and vegetables, garlic, butter. Let me just tell you, there's a reason I make this at least once a month. I'm just trying to scoop out a little bit of the juice to moisten those noodles a little bit more. And then for a final garnish, I'm going to top with a nice healthy dollop of ricotta cheese. You can top this with Parmesan cheese if you like, or with nothing at all. This is my preference. It adds nice creaminess to all that oiliness. And this is my brand of choice. Let me tell you something. If you're using that other brand, you know, the one we all grew up with, you are missing something. This stuff is the bomb. Here's a little tip. Anything that makes a water on top, like a yogurt or a ricotta cheese or a sour cream, if you flatten the bottom, smooth it the way that I just did, the top surface after you've scooped it out, it won't collect water, that you won't have to drain it. It's amazing. Here's my finished product. It looks amazing and it tastes even better. Try it. And if you do, let me know in the comments. I would love your feedback on this. While you're at it, if you like this video, would you please consider liking it? Also consider subscribing if you haven't already. Check out some more videos. We do cooking videos and art videos around here. We try to post at least twice a week, and I would love to see you around. I will see you next time.